Hey, what's up everyone? This is Prince Caius here, and this is part 2 to What If Deku had twin brothers. And I forgot about this one as well, for a long time. But this is part 2 to What If Deku had a twin brother. This is going to be a long video, so let's just get into it. 3, 2, 1, intro. Starting off where we left off. A few days go by. Deku and Izuku goes to UA. When they got to the door to 1A, everyone walks to them, both telling them that they have a strong quirk. Deku just sat down and waited for the teacher, and Izuku and Uraraka talks. Aizawa walks in telling them to go outside, and if they fail this test, they'll be expelled. When they got outside, that's what Aizawa said. Deku and Izuku got great scores in the strength and race and jump test. Deku and Izuku got Deku got both of them got first place, but I don't know which one should get first or second, so who cares. Deku got second in the ball throw by using 11% of One For All and air to basically make it float into infinity, basically. But you know, Izuku got third place by using 11% of One For All as well, and shooting a dart, a sand or ground or whatever sand dart, I'm gonna say, at it and making it fly a little bit further, and he actually covers it up with it, and when it does get into infinity, kinda. Time for the battle test arc. Izuku and Uraraka versus Bakugo and Ida. They go in the building. Izuku makes small sand around the building inside of it, and using it as detectors or something like that. And Izuku does find the bomb very quickly and tells Uraraka where it is. Uraraka and Izuku basically is running to it, but Bakugo stops them. Bakugo attacks them, but Zuko tells Uraraka to go and makes a sand wall or earth wall or whatever to it, and basically what happened in the anime, basically when Bakugo tried to hit Deku, he grabbed not Deku, but yeah, basically Izuku just throws Bakugo over his shoulder and captures him with some sand and ties him up. And then Izuku goes to the bomb with Uraraka, and when they get there, Izuku basically captures Ida with a sand coffin or earth coffin, ground coffin, whatever. I really don't care. I really love Naruto. That's why I said sand coffin. But Uraraka goes to the bomb, and she grabs the bomb and they won. Deku and Momo versus Kirishima and Sato. Momo barricades the doors and windows. Then Deku puts some sand and hardens it with fire on the walls and doors. Deku jumps out of the window before she does that, before she does the last one. And Deku does jump off out of the window and flies back inside and starts to run around and finds the heroes. Deku shoots water at Sato to get rid of his sugar, to basically, get it dissolved with the water, and uses his fire to evaporate it, and he's already captures him. Kirishima runs at Deku and tries to punch him, but Deku makes his body into water and moves behind Kirishima and goes back to normal and makes his body into the same substance as Kirishima, but a little bit stronger. And it does break Kirishima's armor, and he basically gets knocked out, and he ties him up. They won. Deku and Momo wins this match. A few hours go by after school. Deku and Izuku went to the beach to train. They fought each other with all of their new moves and old moves, and at full power, but at 11% of One for All, full Cowling. Time for the USJ arc. Everything happens the same until they teleport. Deku teleports to the water place. Izuku teleports to the mountain place. Deku flies on the boat and sees Sue and Mineta is on the boat as well. Deku tells them to get on him, and Sue and Mineta gets on Deku. Deku starts to fly up and goes to the shore while he is controlling the water, and tells Mineta to use his quirk in the whirlpool that he's making right now. And after the villains get knocked out, basically, Deku does fly to the shore. While that was happening, Izuku destroys the ground, capturing all the villains near him and the others. Then they, only in the mountain place, okay? Then they ran to the middle of the USJ building. When Deku does get to the shore, that's when Izuku is running down off the mountain. But Sue and Mineta gets off. Tomura Shiraki grabs Deku and starts to decay his face, but Deku's whole body turns into sand. Deku appears behind Tomura, and Deku uses lightning to increase his speed. I said element control. He can use any element at his disposal at anything for anything, and he uses full Cowling One for All 20%. This is his first time using 20%, and his and fire with a kick, and tries to hit Tomura, but the Nomu grabs Deku's leg and starts to break his leg, but Deku turned into water and basically healed himself, but it didn't break though, okay? And gets inside of the Nomu while the Nomu is attacking Deku that's in water form. And Deku goes inside of the Nomu's mouth and basically turns into a small flame, knocking the Nomu out, and turns back into water and comes out of the Nomu, and he's on the ground from using his new move that he never done before. Izuku helped Deku up off of the ground and tells him that he has to stop doing that. He will die if he uses that move too much. Deku tells Izuku that he knows that if he uses that 5 more times, 5 times in a day, he will die or get hurt or exhausted. He did say that he used it only he said he only used it 2 to 3 times that time. Deku and Izuku ran to Ozawa to help him fight Tomura, but Tomura and the other villain teleports away. When Deku and Izuku is about to go home, Tsu stops Deku and asks if they could talk. Deku tells Izuku to go on ahead. He'll basically get there. He'll catch up soon. Izuku was like, okay, I'm gonna leave, and leaves. Tsu asks if Deku is free tomorrow, and Deku tells her that that he was going to train, but if he asked, but he does ask if she was going to ask him out on a date. Tsu does blush and tells Deku that she was going to ask him that, but how did he know? How did he know? Deku tells her that he would love to have a date with her tomorrow, and tells her that just a lucky guess. And then Deku turns into sand and flies off to catch up with Izuku. He shouldn't be, honestly, flying with his quirk like that, but, you know, nobody can see sand like 20 feet off the ground. It just looks like dust. So, you know, the next day, Deku and Tsu, Deku goes to Tsu's house to pick her up for their date. Deku and Tsu goes to dinner and then the movies, and they have fun. Deku does take Tsu back home, and goes back home and actually goes to the beach to train with his brother Izuku. Time for the UA festival. A few days went by. Deku, it's time for the UA festival. Okay, blah blah blah. Deku gets first place in the race by flying with 20% of one for all, full cowling. And Izuku gets second place by flying with sand under him. At 15% of one for all, full cowling. Deku then got first place in the headband battle by making a wind barrier around him and his team. Izuku gets second place by using sand and small earthquakes to protect him and his team. Deku versus Shinso. Deku runs while using lightning to increase his speed, near light speed, by the way. And then he pushes Shinso off while Shinso is talking, trying to get Deku to talk. Then won. Izuku versus Bakugo. Izuku turns the ground under Bakugo into a slide, but Bakugo starts to fly with his explosions, and he goes towards Izuku and hits Izuku, but Izuku blocks it with earth shield, an earth shield. Bakugo hits over and over, but no effect. Izuku then makes the earth on Bakugo, making a sphere around Bakugo, and hits, not hits, but tossed him off of the ring, making him win, basically. Deku versus Shoto. Deku runs to Shoto Todoroki with 25% of One for All and Lightning to increase his speed. Deku hits Shoto, but Shoto hits Deku with ice as well. But Deku throws fire at the ice and melting it. Then Deku tells Shoto that his fire side is his, not his father's, and he has to try harder to even beat him. Shoto, all of a sudden, Shoto starts to use his fire side and attacks Deku with fire and eyes, but Deku turns into lightning to teleport to dodge the attacks. Then Deku turns into fire, and then ice. Like if he's getting shot by ice, he's getting turned into fire. If he gets attacked by fire, he turns into ice. I mean, the opposite around. I don't know. I don't remember. But he goes through it, and then he turns into sand after that and makes a sand clone, and it looks exactly like him, and Shoto shoots it. But by the way, Deku does go into the ground and goes behind Shoto, but when Shoto burns the sand clone, Deku is behind Shoto and hits Shoto with water and electric. Actually, you know what? Deku just uses water to make a ball of water, basically like water prison on Naruto, basically. But he makes a whirlpool inside of it until they say that he won. Then Deku lets him go and says, "That's a good fight," and helps Shoto up. After their battle, Shoto asks if Deku and Izuku is All Might's secret love child. Yes, I don't barely do this in my what ifs, but I need to do them. Deku laughs and tells Shoto that All Might is not our dad. Our dad is in the USA for work. Deku versus Izuku. This could be a great one. Deku and Izuku uses One for All at 25% full cowling. Deku. Oh yeah, by the way, Deku does learn how to use his transformations a little bit better, and how to transform. He can transform a little bit more into everything, but it doesn't take him like 5 times. It takes him like 10 to 20 10 to 15 times to transform. He can transform to that much times before he actually gets exhausted or die. Deku uses lightning and air to make a barrier, and Izuku uses a sand barrier, an earth barrier to protect him. Deku and Izuku hits each other over and over for a few minutes, but Deku makes Izuku's sand barrier into glass by using his fire on him, and hit Izuku with it, with lightning as well, knocking him out and making a sphere, a broken sphere of sand, and basically breaks the sand and helps his brother out of it. Deku got first place. Izuku is in second place, and Shoto Todoroki is in third place. And I'm actually gonna leave it off here. I hope you all enjoyed. Actually, you know what? Before, when they were walking home, they want to battle each other again sometime soon, after they train their bodies to use 40 or 50% of One For All, and they promise each other to do so. And Izuku and Deku, when they get home, they tell Inko what happened and tells her that they was fighting in the UA festival, and they tried their hardest to win. Both of them did, and they did win, but Deku was in first place and Izuku was in second. Inko was amazed and was like, well, I guess this is celebration for today, for your great success of your battles and stuff like that. And they do celebrate. She does make Izuku's favorite basically makes his favorite food and Izuku's favorite food, Deku's and Izuku's favorite food, and was and they eat a lot of it. And then after a while, a few days go by, Deku and Izuku does train to fight a little bit better, and Deku teaches Izuku to how to use his Earths to make him transform as well. Just in case if he's, needing help. But Deku and Izuku does learn how to use a few more moves, new moves and stuff. But let's just leave it off here because I'm not reading a script. This is all on top of my head. But I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and hope you enjoyed it. So 3, 2, 1, outro.